I would say that my design process is, I always compare it to Jay-Z, because he says that he doesn't write rhymes anymore, he just freestyles off his head. And I guess what I do is I seldom do much drawing. So I tend to spend weeks and sometimes months thinking about an idea and how I'm going to construct it on the machine, so that when I do get on the machine, a lot of it is just freehand work. So the planning stage is meticulous, and then the execution is, for want of a better term, rather succinct. So I'm a very strong believer in building a great team around you. I'm not one of these people that believes in the term self-made. I think that as you grow, you have to rely on people and their skills, because if you think that you can do it all yourself, then you're just going to be as big as your own abilities. So I've always relied on experts to help grow my brand. So we have a great team of machinists, we have a team of pattern cutters, we have Ashley that handles our social media, we have some great photographers that we work with like Ben and Dan, we have models, we have video editors. So when we release the finished product to the public, it's been done by an expert, not by myself. And I mean, in the early days of the brand, that was something that I was doing myself each stage. I guess you have to take on some of these roles in the early stages, but as the brand grows, as you get more finances, then you would seek to hire specialists to take over these roles for you. So, like the kind of women that I see in my clothes is like Kanye King, Alicia Dixon, Karen Brady, Michelle Obama. I mean, as you guys probably have heard in my previous videos, my brand was modeled on my wife, who's a professional woman. So we're trying to design garments for high caliber women who are very career driven. So, I mean, the way that I've disciplined myself and the business is, I guess very few people know this, is up until my wife and I bought our first home, I was actually the lowest paid employee of the company. And that was quite a hard thing to maintain, because you're almost you're trying to survive on as little money as possible to make sure that hopefully you see an end kind of result. And it took a number of years, it took nearly a decade to get to that point. And even through the application of buying our home, as a self-employed person, you have to make sure that you pass the affordability check. So it eventually worked off. And then when we eventually bought our home, I was able to increase my wage. But I guess it is also quite difficult paying out so much money in wages. And I guess you're almost depriving yourself. But in the end, it is for the long-term win. So I guess my opinions on sustainability, initially, I wasn't really too sold on it, because I had quite a negative view where I say poor people can't afford to be sustainable. But I guess I do see it as important from the angle of UK manufacturing, where you have a less of a carbon footprint making within the UK, because you're not having to fly goods back and forth between different countries. And as someone who's, I guess, benefited from being a UK manufacturer, it's meant that our business has grown exponentially. I feel that many brands should be considering sustainable manufacturing, because consumers are caring more about it. And a few years ago, I was up for an award with the British Fashion Council and DHL. And actually one of the reasons why we didn't win the award is because the pitch, the pitch that we put together as to how we'd spend the prize money didn't factor in enough about sustainability. So it was definitely a kick up the backside for me to make sure that we're prioritising sustainability, where the products are made, where the products are sourced, and even as a brand in itself, it's part of our brand promise to our customer that we have full control over the manufacturing process, so that they're not worried that they're investing in a brand that doesn't care about the environment. I don't really have any regrets, but what I would say is that my time at uni, I feel that had I not gone to university, I could have done a lot better with my career and quicker. And I think that the money that was put towards our tuition fees, I think I could have pumped that into my brand and would have made more progress earlier. One of the things that I felt about uni is that I don't think it did what it said on the tin, and I realised that from a very early stage in my degree. And funny enough, I've told interns and family members not to do a fashion degree just to manage their expectations. So 3 years down the line, when they've done the degree, they've actually come back to me and said, "Oh, Emile, you were right in terms of telling me not to do the degree." So what I tend to advise is that I would say it's better to do an academic degree and then you do a short course in something creative if it's fashion that you want to get into. But for now, it would definitely be a thumbs down towards doing a fashion degree. So 3 things that people may not know about me. I hate WhatsApp groups. I know that's a bit of a random one, but I hate being added to WhatsApp groups, especially by people that don't really know me. So most times you will never catch me on WhatsApp. Secondly, I'm a huge fan of music. And I think that comes from my dad, because growing up he was always playing music, and he brought a Bang & Olufsen kind of set when we were younger, and I didn't really know too much about the brand, but obviously the more I grew up, I got into music, and I have Bang & Olufsen, and I'm also a music producer. So the funny thing was, I was into music from the age of 13, so way before I got into fashion. And then I realized I couldn't make money in it, so I got into fashion, and my career just popped off from there. And then thirdly, so I worked as a junior stylist when I was, I think from 18 to 21, and that was for a well-known Afro hair salon in South London called Hype Couture. And the actual boss of Hype, Calvin, is actually my mentor. The funny thing was, I don't think Calvin really used to like me much when I was younger, but he's one of the kind of reasons one of the people that shaped my personality as a business person till this day. So he's someone I have a lot of admiration for. So apart from God, I would say one of the main reasons why I feel that I've been able to be successful is that I met my wife midway through my career, and I feel it's really important that the person who you're with that really plays a part in your success. Because I was actually sleeping in my office when my wife and I first met. And I did think, what on earth is this woman doing with me? Because I didn't really, clearly I didn't really have much to offer her. Because if it was for money, then I really didn't have it. But I guess she must have seen my vision in some way. And she has a mother and a sister that are in the fashion industry. So I guess she understood quite a bit about the business already. So me working late nights, long hours and whatnot, she was perfectly fine with that. And then as we got married probably 2 years after we first met, because I realized I had strong feelings for her. But then also when we were building our home together, my wife, she earned considerably more than me in the beginning. And for many men, that's a kind of tough thing to take, the woman earning more than you. But I knew that, that wouldn't be forever. And it wasn't necessarily a competition that I wanted to earn more than my wife, but I just knew that the direction I was going in, that would eventually be the case. And as I started to earn more money, my wife, we made an agreement that a certain amount of our money would be invested into the business continuously until we saw it get to a stage. And it eventually grew and grew and grew. And I guess our finances, we've really been blessed. But without her having that faith in my vision almost, I would never have got to the stage that I am at the moment. So I credit it all to her.